How fun. Still got to get my tickets. All right, the first of the year here is always a good time to talk about our goals and kind of lay things out for the year. But with the stock market really taking huge hits and suffering maybe the worst January in history, this is a time to really talk about our finances here. And in fact, Ken Horton joins us here once again this morning from CalCoast Credit Union. Great to see you here this morning. The markets are off, way off again this morning. I think when you came in, they were down, what, over 300 points?
Yes.
So everybody worries about their 401k.
Yes.
What should they be doing right now?
What they shouldn't be doing is panicking, because human nature looks at things like big stock market moves, and the natural tendency is to want to make a short-term emotional change to your investments, your 401ks, and that's exactly what you don't want to do. You want to have a long-term plan using assets that you're comfortable with and stick with it, because markets go through highs and lows, just like what we're experiencing this morning and so far this year.
And, we have every reason to hope, oh gosh, they're taking a live look. We're down 400 points now. I mean, this is off 2.5%. That doesn't necessarily translate directly to people's 401k either. If they're kind of keeping an eye on it and they've got it balanced out the way they want it, just because the market's off that much, unless you're in an index fund, strictly in an index fund, then you may or may not be reacting to these numbers this morning to that degree.
That's right. So if you have more of a balanced portfolio between stocks and bonds and perhaps some savings accounts and savings bonds and things like that, that helps cushion some of those market ups and downs and makes the ride a little less volatile for you.
But that's something certainly to talk to your investment advisor about.
Most definitely.
And dial that in, but not to call up and say, sell.
Exactly.
Probably not a good idea. Okay, and that was actually, as we were going to talk about 5 little tips today for breaking bad financial habits, that was number 5, so we skipped on down. Let me go back to the top of the list here. Just winging it is not a great idea when it comes to your finances. Your check comes in, you say, it'll be fine. I'm not going to stress over bills. Nice sentiment, but not necessarily financially sound.
Absolutely. You want to have a plan. You want to have a plan in your life, and you want to have a plan for your finances. And so one of the best ways to plan is to use a budget where you lay out all of your projected income and expenses and identify those areas where, maybe you're having some difficulty in. Maybe you're overspending in entertainment, or perhaps you're not saving enough. A budget is the best way to help you identify those opportunities to make your financial life better.
Now, here's the risk, though. My wife and I have done this before. We've really gone through and laid out the whole thing. And when we did, we said, well, this doesn't work. How have we been surviving the last couple of years?
Yes.
It really opens your eyes sometimes.
It does, because a lot of times with your finances you'll have assumptions about how things are working, but until you actually lay things out and budget both your income and expenses, you really don't know exactly where you're at and also where you're headed.
I want to pop through a couple other points real quickly here. Just ignoring your bills, terrible idea.
You don't want to do that. That is the absolute last thing you want to do. If you're having problems paying your bills, whether it's your car payment or whether it's your utility bill, don't ignore the bill. Call up the bank, call up the credit union, call up the utility company, explain your situation, tell them that you're having difficulty, and they are more than willing to work out some sort of a payment plan, because they would much rather have you call them and work something out rather than just ignore the bill entirely.
And a couple of quick thoughts about taking out too many loans. A lot of people, they take out a loan to service the loan, and then making minimum payments. Those two thoughts kind of go hand in hand. Just financially not sound, bad habit.
Very, very bad habit, because what happens is you get into a spiral of deeper and deeper and deeper debt, particularly if you use credit cards and if you're only making the minimum payment, because you will be spending years paying off that credit card.
And you're going to accumulate more debt during that time.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to need a new car at some point. You're going to, kids go off to school and they need a little extra money. It doesn't get better as you get older generally. So if you don't get a handle on it, it's just not magically going to happen for you.
That's right. And that's where, we talked a couple of minutes ago about a budget. That's where a budget can really help you identify those opportunities to cut down on your debt and, start saving more.
All right, Ken Horton, CalCoast Credit Union. It's always great to see you.
Thank you.
If folks want to just drop in and just ask questions, can they walk up to the counter and just ask?
Yes, they can. They can walk into any of our branches and they can ask for help. And they can also go online to our Know and Plan app on our website, and that helps with budgeting and other helpful financial tips.
Know and Plan app, so you can help them with their budget.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Always great to see you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for coming in. All right.